is Jessica Bellinger, and I am the founder of Journey Down Deep. And Journey Down Deep is a group that I've created for women who are looking to grow and develop themselves into being better versions of who they are today. Journey Down Deep is based on 7 individual principles, and today during our meeting, we'll be talking about principle number 4, which is express your feelings, and the 3 objectives that go with that, which are understanding the importance of expressing your feelings, finding your individual truth, and how to handle overload. We will start out with objective number 1. Why is expressing your feelings important? Well, first off, the reason why expressing your feelings is important is because number 1, they're your feelings. Your feelings really truly create who you are as a person. Therefore, if you're not expressing your feelings, then you're not truly expressing who you are as a person. And in today's world, by not expressing who you are, you do fall victim to possibly losing your identity completely and letting other individuals control your life. So again, the first reason why expressing your feelings is important is because your feelings are you. And if we're not expressing our feelings, then we're not living up to who truly we are as we go through life. Another reason for expressing your feelings is because we are human. This is the only way that we have to communicate. Smoke signals, beating on drums, boxes, that is not how in modern times we truly learn how to communicate and how to do what it is that we truly need to do. So if I'm failing to express my feelings, then I'm bottling everything up inside and I'm walking around just on a fuse, like a ticking time bomb, waiting to explode with all of my baggage and all of my issues and all of my concerns and worries and problems and happiness that I have failed to be able to address the way I need to. So the second reason why expressing your feelings is important is because it gives you an outlet for basic general communication so that you can honestly maneuver better within the world that you live in. So reason number 2 why it's important to express your feelings is because your feelings not only create who you are, but they also are the way that you communicate to the world. So this is your communication method. To the world. There's many other reasons why expressing your feelings can be deemed as being important, but really mostly as women, we have to adapt our identity so much because we no longer can be Jessica. We have to be mom. We have to be wife. We have to be daughter. We have to be sister. We can't just be the one individual person that we were created to be because we have to adapt to our changing environment and our changing world. So if we're not expressing our feelings, again, one of the other things that leads to is we may not be getting from other individuals what it is that we need because we're not communicating to them. We also need to adapt ourselves to the other individuals that we have to deal with in order to really be able to express our feelings in a true and consistent manner. So what does that mean? That basically means that when I'm talking with my husband, I'm going to communicate with him in one way. Whereas when I'm talking with my mom, that's a different level of communication versus when I'm communicating to my children. All of the things that I'm communicating to those individuals is all based around the premise of these are my feelings, or objective number 2, my truth that I'm intending to communicate to you so that you can understand where I'm coming from just a tad bit better. So reason number 3 why expressing your feelings is important is because this is the way that we communicate to the world, and we have to adapt the way that we communicate to each individual within our world correctly so that we can get from them what we need. So I have to have an adaptability within how I express myself from different levels and different people that I deal with on a daily basis. So again, expressing my feelings is an adaptive role that I must take on since now I am a grown woman who is expected to communicate with different levels of individuals. Objective number 2 is about finding your individual truth. The concept behind this objective doesn't have anything to do with finding your individual truth of who you are or what your mission here in life is. This is about finding your individual truth in any situation so that you can understand how to adapt yourself to that situation and how to properly communicate in that situation. Finding your truth is truly about going through and asking yourself questions to get down to the root cause of why something could potentially be bothering you. As I continue to work from my years in the military to my years working in utilities to working in social services, now into medical claims, one of the things that I've realized the most is that a situation can bother you very badly. And 9 times out of 10, the reason why the situation is bothering you so much is not because of the individuals or the situation itself. It is because of your truth that you are tying to that situation. Your truth, almost kind of like your individual perception of the situation. So we let things affect us in different ways depending on our individual perception or our own truth regarding that situation. So, in finding your individual truth, what we talk about here is answering 5 questions that will get you to what I call the root cause of your problem, would be the best word. So, starting off, question number 1. Everyone remembers the 5 W's going through English. So, question number 1 starts with who. Who, at this moment, in this time, is causing the issue, or who has my focus at this time regarding this issue? 9 times out of 10, the answer to your question initially is not going to be you. More than likely, the answer to your question is going to be some outside individual, a teacher, a boss, a church member, your children, your husband, your mom. It's always going to be someone else who is creating this havoc or this issue or this problem that you have currently going on. So you have to first answer the question of who. Who has your focus at this time? The second question is what? And that comes from asking yourself, what is bothering me about this situation? If Felicia is the cause of my focus, or who has my focus at this time, what is Felicia doing that is bothering me regarding this situation? Is she not coming to church on time? Is she not leading her solo correctly? Is she not filing the paperwork on Friday as she should be? There's something going on there that Felicia is necessarily doing to truly get me out of my peace regarding this situation. Once we have successfully answered the who and the what, now we get into the true meat and bread of the objective of finding your truth. And that comes with another question, which is why. The why in these situations is very important. However, you have to change your focus at this step to not why is Felicia doing these things. The question is, why am I allowing what Felicia is doing to bother me? These start getting to the root cause of your situation. Why is what Felicia is doing bothering me? If Felicia is not filing on Friday, the reason that's bothering me is because that's company procedure. That is what I have to do. And if she's not being made to do the same things, then that's a problem for me individually. And that would be a problem for you. So the why is very important for you to understand, not why am I letting this bother me? Why are these things bothering me? And we draft out that question. The next question is where. And a lot of people have asked me as I go through, where does where have anything to do with finding your truth? Because this where is about where can I seek assistance on this individual situation. There are times, even after you get through answering all the questions, you realize that you're not going to be the only person that's going to be impacted or affected by this particular situation, or you may not necessarily be the person in line to be able to make the necessary decisions on how to correct or fix the situation. So when that happens, you have to start asking yourself, where can I find the necessary assistance that I need at this moment to be able to handle this situation a little bit better? Finally, we come to the when. And just like with the where, numerous people ask me, how does when come into play here? Because you have to know when you're going to be able to make steps or do what's necessary in order to impact and change the situation. When is not always today. When could be 2 months from now. It could be once you go through and research company policies. It could be once you start going through and determining if Friday has to be the only day that you have to do your individual filing. But at some point, you must ask yourself the question of, when am I individually going to be able to take action on this situation? By going through these questions, the who, what, why, where, and when of finding your truth, you'll be able to get from the point that Felicia is not doing what she needs to be doing to the point of, this situation is bothering me because I don't feel like I personally have any impact or any decision-making ability in this situation. So it is causing me a very high level of frustration. That is how we go about finding your individual truth in any situation, so that you are able to go through, ask the necessary questions, and make the necessary decisions or take the necessary steps in order to get you from where you are now, which is feeling aggravated about a situation, into where you can be at peace with the situation because you have went through the steps to determine that this may not be something that you necessarily have to impact. That is the importance of objective number 2, which is finding your own individual truth. These questions will work for any situation that you find yourself in. Are you in an argument with your husband? Are you having some problems at work? Are you dealing with individuals in an organization or in a social setting that aren't necessarily allowing you to spread your wings as fly? Taking time to answer the 5 W's on a consistent and regular basis will definitely impact your situation, so that you can take yourself from very disturbed about a situation to understand why it is bothering you, and being able to find the necessary assistance and know when to take the necessary action that is required in order for you to dial back your feelings of what's going on regarding that situation. Moving on, we get to objective 3, which is handling overload. All of us in the world get to a point where whatever we have going on in our lives is extremely, extremely difficult to handle, and we get into what is called overload mode. Some of us have the situations where we run an autopilot during our overload time frames, and others of us just let it run away with us and impact every situation and every individual that we have to deal with. The key to handling overload is not about a necessary basic 1, 2, 3 step. Handling overload is about having the necessary resources in place so that you are already using these things, so that when things start to become a little too much, you are automatically putting these steps and these resources in place to help avoid it getting to a situation where it is completely out of control, for lack of a better statement. So handling overload really does come down to having habits, resources, and tools in place that will assist you when things get to be somewhat out of control. The first resource that I want people to understand and utilize during those overload moments is a thankfulness list. Okay? The thankfulness list is designed for you to be able to take a look around your environment and around your situation, no matter where you are in overload capacity at that time, and to start creating a list of things that you are truly thankful and grateful for. No matter how much is going on, there are numerous things that you can be thankful for. You can be thankful that your car started this morning and got you to work on time. You can be thankful that you are off today and you can enjoy a beautiful sunny day outside instead of having to sit in a building. You can be thankful because you still have one or both of your parents in your life, because many of us don't. So there are always things that you can be thankful for, but because overload and everything that's going on in the world gets to be so extreme, we lose our understanding of what true thankfulness is. Now, when you start making this list, I will admit, in your overload moment, it does get to be extremely difficult to go through and start drafting out things that you are thankful for. So your first 3, 4, 5 to 7 items on your list may be very superficial items. I'm thankful that I have a job. I'm thankful that I have a car. But as you continue on and you continue to do this on a regular basis, those things that you are thankful for become very, very in depth, and the meaning behind those really starts to shine through. I personally have a lot of vases in my house, and some of them I picked up from garage sales, flea markets, bought full retail, excuse me. But there's two particular vases in my bedroom that I absolutely love that I got in Canton, which is a flea market type environment that we have here in Texas. And I love these vases because it's not the vases that caught my attention or that really has me thankful for them. It's that day that I spent with my husband and my children and my mother out in Canton, just buying and enjoying and having a wonderful time. So on my thankfulness list, those vases may show up more than once within a week because I really love thinking about that situation of spending time with my children and my husband and my mother. So again, your thankfulness list is something that you need to start now and continue on as you go. However, when things are getting to be too much, this is definitely a resource that you want to come back to so that you can start to take a look outside of the situation and really understand what you are truly thankful for in this world. The second thing that will really assist you with overload is journaling. Women are naturally venters. We like to talk about a situation. We like to get all of our feelings out about it. And even though we do truly want advice, we don't necessarily want a solution or a fix to it. We may just necessarily want to talk about the situation. And if it's something that we want to talk about, if you're talking to other individuals, you're going to get the advice. You're going to get the possible solutions. You're going to get their feedback and their feelings on the situation. And that may cloud your judgment. But venting is a necessary evil in life. So what I do is I vent to my phone. I use a record app. And in the mornings and on my way home from work, I record a journal entry about what's going on within that day. And I periodically go back, and I try to do it at least once a week, but sometimes that doesn't happen. But I do go back and review old journal entries so that I can see how a situation affected me, how I made it through that situation, hear my tone of voice, hear everything that was going on in real time during those moments that I was getting to be in overload or that I was just expressing my feelings about how situation and how I felt that it affected me. Journaling is always beneficial, and I recommend that all people, man or woman, adult or child, get into creating a set regular journal entry regimen so that you can truly know your feelings, and years from now or a couple of days from now, you can go back and see how you made it through a situation, and that will help you understand that if I made it through this one, then guess what? I'm definitely going to be able to make it through the next one. The final thing that I'm going to give you for handling overload has to do with what I call a feel this moment exercise. The feel this moment exercise was designed so that you could come out of the feelings that you are currently in and create feelings that are going to be more positive and more beneficial to you at that moment. So the feel this moment exercise really has to do with you taking 1 to 10 minutes and focusing on a specific thing, an idea, an item, just a feeling. Sometimes I do it when I'm at work and I take a look around my desk when it's organized and I just kind of hold on, how is that making me feel? How does it make me feel to look around my desk and it's organized and everything is in its place? How does it make me feel to be at home in my kitchen and cooking dinner for my family? Is that putting me in a place of anxiety or is that putting me into a place of peace? Once I start doing my feeling that moment exercises, I can go back and I can recall those moments, or I can create those moments anytime that I need them by just doing a feel this moment exercise consistently. Again, it takes 1 to 10 minutes. Some people may do it for more, some people may do it for shorter. But at any time you're beginning to feel like a situation is getting to be too much or you are getting up to here, take a few moments and focus on something that is going to take your attention away from what is getting you there and put it on something that will help lower your stress level and as well elevate your peace. Okay? Very important that we do these resources and starting them now and start doing them consistently, because the one thing that happens is that if you don't do something consistently, when you need it, you're not going to be able to perform. When you are walking into that meeting and someone has you very upset based on the idea that they're bringing to the table or the fact that they're not going to agree with what you want them to agree with, you need to be able to go to one of these resources so that you can decrease your level at that time, so that you can always know how to properly express your feelings in any situation. That's my time for today. I have really enjoyed giving you this information. I hope you are able to find it easily on YouTube and on Facebook. Look for more to come as we continue to go through and post videos regarding the 7 principles of self-development, as brought to you by Journey Down Deep. Again, my name is Jessica. It has been a pleasure providing you this information. And if you have any questions at all about Journey Down Deep, the 7 principles of self-development, or the groups that we have once a month, feel free to contact me at journeydowndeep@gmail.com, or you can hit me up on Facebook or YouTube just by following the link below. Really appreciate your time. Hope the information was beneficial, and I look forward to getting to deliver some information to you again on our 5th principle, which is take time for yourself. For now, this is Jessica signing off with Journey Down Deep. Thank you very much. Bye.